What's up everybody, and welcome to another Pokemon Theory, where I like to take a look at some of the cool and interesting theories and mysteries in the Pokemon world. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at a theory that's pretty old and has actually been proven false already. The theory claims that the Striaton City gym leaders from the Generation 5 games are actually the Shadow Triad, which are a part of Team Plasma. There's been lots of debates about this, and I'm glad that it's finally been proven false. Before we get to why this theory is wrong, let's first talk about why this theory was thought to be plausible by many people in the first place. The first reason many considered this a possibility, and probably the most obvious, is that both of these groups are a trio of Pokemon trainers. They seem to be fairly similar in that both groups look to be about the same age and are all males. This was enough for some people to start speculating that the Striaton brothers were actually the Shadow Triad, as well as gym leaders. The second reason that people thought this was true was because of their absence at N's Castle at the end of Pokemon Black and White. All of the gym leaders had gathered at N's Castle to battle the Team Plasma Sages, except for the Striaton gym leaders, who were nowhere to be found. It's also worth noting that the Shadow Triad did appear in N's Castle and interacted with the player. Many people have taken all of these facts, like the similarities between the groups, the absence of the Striaton gym leaders during the battle against the Sages, along with the Shadow Triad being there, to be proof that the Striaton gym leaders are the Shadow Triad. For what it's worth, this theory does have more information and thought behind it than the average Pokemon theory, and for a while, nobody could disprove or debunk it. Then, everything changed once Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 came into the scene. Black 2 and White 2 had a feature called Memory Link, which allowed the player to sync their game with either of the original Black and White games. This allowed the player in Black 2 and White 2 the ability to get some new features, along with brand new story points told in the form of flashbacks. These flashbacks focused on many different things and elements from the original games, but the one we want to take a look at is the one focusing on Chili, Silent, and Cress. Besides the flashback explaining why they resigned as gym leaders, they also talk about how they weren't able to make it to N's Castle in time for the fight. If that isn't enough of a reason to think that the Shadow Triad and Striaton gym leaders aren't the same, then the next thing that happens surely will. The Shadow Triad actually appears before the Striaton gym leaders and challenges them to a battle. Chili, Silent, and Cress are easily beaten to a pulp, but this undeniably confirms that the Shadow Triad and Striaton City gym leaders are two different groups of people. This is truly a shocking revelation, and I guess you could say that things are really heating up in the story. Well, I'm sure that most people out there have already heard about this theory, considering it's almost 3 years old now. I thought it would still be a good idea to clarify this for some of the people out there who might still believe that the Striaton brothers and Shadow Triads are one and the same. Anyways, thanks for watching this quick Pokemon theory on the Striaton City gym leaders and the Shadow Triad. Hopefully, if you hadn't known about this before, that you found it insightful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.